Pennsylvania, almost to Boiling Springs, and it's the first like super hot day out, like 90 something degrees. Oh, I feel like a newbie all over again, like I'm back in Georgia. Maybe it's just because it's the first hot day. Maybe it's because after Harper's Ferry I did like 20, 25, 25, 20, and I'm just beat up. Maybe from all those zeros I took and I lost my trail legs, no! Or maybe I've just been spoiled by flat Maryland and southern Pennsylvania and I just need a good butt whooping. There's supposedly a free campground right on the outskirts of the town. The big con people keep saying is that it's right by the train tracks. But today's Sunday, so I'm like thinking maybe it won't be that loud or that often traversed. But I mean, it's also free, and come on. You sleep out in the woods, you wake up in the middle of the night all the time. You have to fight away those bears. Duh. So, I think I'm gonna go into town and resupply for like 2 days, maybe. Because I think Duncannon is only like 25, 30 miles away from here. But the trail goes right through the town, and supposedly there's a tavern right off the trail, so I think I might hit that on the way back from my resupply. Once I'm feeling real nice and cozy, go back and look for a place to camp, and then head into Duncannon and beyond the day after that. I'm so close to Philly, I think I can be there in like a week or so. Are we going up or are we going down? There's the blade. Down, yeah. And I'm pumped to get back into Philly. I'm gonna stay like 4 or 5 days there, see a bunch of old friends, check in on my old coworkers, have some good times. Also, everything hurts. I saw someone way back in the Smokies with a shirt. It was just a black shirt with huge white letters across the chest. All it said was "everything hurts," and I was like, my God, I need that. All of us need that shirt. But yeah, everything hurts. So it'll be fun to like lay on a couch for 4 days in between like trips to the pub or to the movie theater. I've rediscovered a love of going to the movies since being out here. Every time we go into town, if there's one nearby, I have to go. Just think a huge bottle of soda, some popcorn. I hardly ever drink soda back home, but now that I've been out here, in Dr. Pepper alone, I've had more in the last 3 months than I've had in the last 5 years. Oh, I shouldn't have said soda. I think I've already rolled my ankle 6 times on these rocks. Everything hurts. Pennsylvania rocks are already starting now. Instead of those huge jagged clusters of doom you see all over the internet, it's mostly normal trail with a bunch of rocks strewn in, half buried. So you can't, they don't hurt unless you trip on them, but you have to pick your steps carefully, and that's just such a little pain in the butt. It sounds stupid to even complain out loud about it, but after 6 miles, you're just rocks! Poison ivy everywhere! Oh, man. Excited to be back to town, too. I gotta pick up some ibuprofen. Remember in the beginning, I had these little horse pills, 800 milligram, with a mild pain reliever in them, too, just for emergencies. Like when I sprained my ankle coming down Blood Mountain. And, it was great, but I told myself, I don't really like using pills or medicine if I don't have to at all. So, I'll probably have this bottle the whole time. Now that, my IT band's all messed up, my left foot is just constantly in some sort of battle, I've gotten to the point where I just take, ibuprofen all day, every day. It's no longer a concern of being healthy. It's just making it to the finish line. You can't really be healthy out here unless you have a crap ton of money and send yourself all these really nice dehydrated meals or something. But it's more an exercise and longevity and just gritting your teeth and getting through it, I guess. Through hiking may be good for the soul. Well, definitely good for the soul. But make no mistake about it, it has a deleterious effect on one's body. No ifs, ands, or buts. Ouch. I seem to have a barn cat or a stray cat following me. It's kind of cute, but like worrisome. Plus, it's probably covered in fleas. Go home, bud. Damn. You can see way out there the mountains in the distance. But for now, flat, sweet, sweet Pennsylvania. I'm walking in and out of hayfields and backyards and that sort of stuff all day. If it wasn't so hot, it'd be amazing. But it's sort of bittersweet because we all know what's coming. All those beautiful rocks. Another thing about the flatness is I was talking to some people in Boiling Springs in this campground just outside of town, right by a train track. Oh, it's terrible. But everyone's like, yeah, man, it's like 13 miles of flat ground. If we can go like 4 miles an hour, we're gonna kill miles. I'm like, 4 miles an hour? I learned a long time ago that I'm slow. Slower than most anyway. And I don't know, it's like flat. I'm kind of like just strolling along at my usual pace. It's just, you know, like not that hard than compared to when you're going up and down mountains all day. A ways back, right after the Shenies, someone slack packed us, and everyone was like, man, we're not carrying packs. We can go like 30, maybe almost 40 miles. Yeah, it'll be great. I was like, ugh, that sounds awful. It's like, I'm not trading one pain for another. Huh. So, which way's the trail? Oh yeah, just all of it. I left Duncannon this morning after a Nero yesterday, which felt great, but it has just been awful today. Not as hot as the last 2 days, but still kind of muggy. But man, the last couple of hours, these bugs are just like, just harassing me. And like there was a shelter at like 5 and then 12 miles, and I intended to stop around 12, but I didn't much like the layout of it. There were already a few people there, and like the water source was like down 300 rock stairs or something, so I kept going because there's supposed to be a spring right up ahead. And according to AWOL, but not Guthook, there's like 0.1 from it, a small campsite, or just a clearing, although I've been kind of scanning the woods for any place to hang the hammock, but a fire ring would be nice, because these bugs, man, this is the point. For a while there, I was just, every time I worked the trekking pole, I would like wave it in front of my face, and even while actively waving my hands in front of my face, another one flew into my eyeball and like up my nose, and it's just it's having a bad day. Okay, the AWOL guide said that spring was good to go. Guthook said it was seasonal with like, you know, the half of a water droplet. They're both wrong. It wasn't there. It's getting kind of late. I'm really feeling kind of dumb for not just going down the stairway of doom at that last shelter and then like cameling up. You know what? This was probably it. Well, either way, the campsite 0.1 before it wasn't there either, so hey. Should have cameled up at that shelter and then gone like the 2 miles to that cool view. Could have even watched the sunrise from my hammock, but oh well. There's another water source in like a mile. So I'm sitting here waiting for my food to cook in my handy koozie here, which almost all my dinners are nor pasta sides or rice sides. I put them in. Actually, I've doubled up on them since the hiker hunger hit back in like Tennessee or wherever, or North Carolina. Once you start getting really hungry and become a human trash compactor, garbage disposal. But also I'll put 2 in there and fill it up till there's like a little bit of extra water, more if there's rice. Bring it all to a boil, stir it, and then throw it in the koozie and just leave it in here for like 10-15 minutes, and it pretty much just cooks itself. The koozie is really easy to make. It's cheap. It was like, I don't know, $15 in parts total from like Amazon or Lowe's or something. It's Reflectix. I started with foil tape that wore off, so I had to get the just use my duct tape to repair it. And it was only $15 because the smallest roll I could find of Reflectix was like 20 yards, and I needed, like 2 5-foot pieces tops, and that was only because I messed up the first time. So while I wait, I usually do like camp chores, but you can see I've already set up my rage quit setup for the night. Drying my stinky clothes and filtering some water. This is the first time I've been at a campsite where I've been totally alone in a while, and it's kind of nice because I lost the little connector between like normal headphone jacks and newer iPhones. I think I threw it away like an idiot. So I haven't been able to listen to music or watch like Netflix at camp and stuff. But tonight, oh boy, someone's catching up on House of Cards. Bug spray. Not effective. Generally speaking, the rocks aren't the worst thing ever. Everyone forgets to talk about when they're complaining about the rocks, how flat the whole state is for the most part. And how you like cross a town, or cross near town, like sometimes every day, which is convenient, But if you do it, hike this section of the AT anyway, you will still hate the rocks. It's like days like today, or yesterday I should say, really bad day, long day, hot, humid. You're a couple of miles from camp or from when you're gonna rage quit, and then hit your rocks, and then the rocks get a little worse, and you're stubbing your toe, and you're rolling your ankle, and you're tripping, and you're slowing down. Slowing down's the worst. Going over the rocks, the rocks, and it's just like it gets worse and worse, and then there's bugs flying into your eyeball. Like, what a stupid bug. And then the rocks get worse, and it's getting dark, and you're just like, everywhere I look, so rocks. And then there's a mountain to climb. Damn it. And despite this being by far the biggest crap show of a rock climb, this one's actually like been fun, because you're like into it. It's a climb, it's an event, and there's a cool breeze blowing despite how hot it is. Of course, the real peak is like up there somewhere on the other side of these trees. There's like a whole rock ridge, but the trail's leading us this way behind you, up in there somewhere, where it'll probably hit the ridge, and there'll be a blue blaze over there to like the actual little summit, and the trail will go further that way. And I'll be like, why didn't you just tell us that all the way down there? We could have just climbed straight up. Classic AT. Last day in Pennsylvania. Had a nice little rainstorm last night. Now there's a cool breeze, which is awesome. And this. And you can hear someone at a gun range down there popping off shots. Nature,